how about we just get started with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your journey in music and maybe any influences that you have had in your musical career?
Yes. So I started piano at the age of 4. Not really for professional training, but for fun, and it's sort of um, educational thing in Asia. Yeah, and yeah, it it um, grabbed my interest a lot. And I wasn't thinking about the professional thing until I came to the United States at Kalamazoo College, which is in Michigan. Yeah, I attended Kalamazoo College as an exchange student from Japan. And their American professors sort of encouraged me to do music. And I also found myself um, better at doing music than doing other areas of studies. So, and actually, that made me decide to transfer to um, Amherst College in Massachusetts, just to not just as an exchange student, but as a matriculate student. And there, I could pursue my interest in music, and also I am interested in China, so I studied Chinese a lot. And I wasn't still thinking about professional opportunity until my graduation thesis concert. Um, in the rehearsal for the graduation thesis, the conductor asked me if I was interested in applying for music school, and I have never thought of it. Until that point, the last year, I remember it's January of the last year, senior year of undergraduate year. I was trying to do job hunting in China, and I attended a lot of job forums. And then at that point, I kind of, that might be a good idea. So, yeah. And after deciding that thing, I just composed a lot of things to uh, enrich my composition portfolio. And I'm now on that path for uh, hopefully for a professional composer. Yeah.
That's so cool. If you don't mind me asking, what was your focus when you were studying before music?
So when I went to a Japanese university first, there I studied uh there I was supposed to study political science, and then I mean, in Japanese universities or in any Asian universities, you need to decide major before entering universities. So I don't know, I somehow picked political science because it sounded cool, and I wasn't interested in political science at all. So actually, I studied the anthropology thing a lot. Yeah, actually, that leads to my current interest in China. Yeah, I'm very, very interested in engaging with China, and I'm studying my future career as a composer in China too. So yeah, so maybe anthropology. Yeah, yeah. Actually, when I was in Japan, a Japanese student, I haven't I didn't take even a single music class. So
Do you feel like your background in anthropology has influenced the way you go about writing music? And maybe from there, could we talk about your writing process?
oh yeah, nobody asked that question. Oh yeah, yeah. I think I I am more aware of the influences or interactions my new compositions could possibly bring to people or society. So I think I'm I think I'm trying to recognize my music composition in a context, not just in the context of music history, but also in the context of a larger society and culture. And that definitely influences my compositional writing uh, because I want everybody to draw some sense of fun from my composition. And I feel that sort of lacks from so-called serious art music. I mean, if it's fun, it's not art. That's not true. Even if it's fun, it can be uh, joyful art. So, I mean, I don't know how people define artistic, but it can fun is art. I'm always thinking about Rossini. Yeah, Rossini is really a fun composer. His music is really fun, but to make music fun, you need to make a lot of efforts actually. So yeah, I will say to make things look effortless, you need to make a lot of efforts. So that's the way I think about composition. Want to I I try not to express a sense of elaboration in my music composition, but behind that avoidance of a sense of elaboration, there is a lot of elaboration. So that's yeah, I will say doing the serious unseriously. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, doing the unserious seriously. Yeah, that's the way I do it. I phrase that. Yeah.
All right, and I guess while still thinking about you as a composer and your compositions, are there any musical experiences, like any concerts or recitals that really moved you throughout your life that you think really have brought inspiration into your
Yes.
own music
Yes.
writing and your works?
Yes. In my last year, the senior year of undergrad at Amherst College, I was joining orchestra as an orchestra pianist. And that year, the conductor featured a lot of American composers. That's why I'm invited as a pianist because American classical repertoire use a lot of piano in orchestra. I did Copland, Gershwin, John Adams, those America composers. And oh wow, I was like, oh, music can be like this. Yeah, a bit shamefully, I haven't really listened to Copland or Gershwin or what I played also Barber or John Adams till the last year of my undergraduate year. And oh, and so that sort of, yeah, that leads to my way of thinking about the composition. To I want to make things very effortless, look effortless, yeah, and joyful. And behind that, there's a lot of elaboration. Yeah. So yeah, that sense came definitely from those composers. Yeah. I cannot say they are the most favorite composer of me, but that was sort of mind-breaking moment of my life. Actually playing in the orchestra and hearing the resonance of the vitality of Americanism. That's when you know, that's a aha moment or wow moment. Yeah.
Along with this line of fun and just things that are bringing joy. Hello, cat. Um, what else do you like to do for fun? And what keeps you motivated?
Oh, you mean other than other than cat and composition? Other than composition? Okay. Other than music?
Yeah, yeah, something
Oh
else.
yeah. I just love railways. I just take a lot of railways. I mean, I think I am I'm a crazy composer, I think, but I'm really a crazy railway enthusiast, I guess. Yeah, because this year it's because of the COVID-19. I couldn't really travel a lot, but before that, I think I did a lot of crazy train travels, like visiting to forest railway in Sumatra Island of Indonesia without knowing any language of them and visiting a small village in forest just to visit that little almost unknown railway. Yeah, almost undocumented railway. Yeah, and I think it cost a lot of my. Yeah, I almost died actually, So yeah, I mean it's really a dangerous railway, and I couldn't access safe food for 2 or 3 days. It's just crazy travel. But I think I could invest this sort of an energy and time for railway. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. In India, I went a very small narrow gauge railroad, uh, like in the middle of the that's southern India, I mean not South India, but in the middle of the country of India, and I think I took a train ride on roof, not in the car, but on the roof for 10 hours in like I think under the very strong sunlight, like the temperature was like 45 Celsius degree, which is what I don't know, but it's really hot. Yeah, so yeah, I did a crazy thing. Yeah.
Well, at least there was the breeze if you were on the roof.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it was crazy. I mean, I think at that moment I almost died because there wasn't water, and it's just crazy 10 hours ride. Yeah, on roof.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a lot of fun though.
yeah.
Whenever all of the restrictions are over, where would you want to travel? And also, is by train one of your favorite means to
Oh
travel?
yeah, of course, China definitely. Yeah, China. There are a lot of interesting railways which I may or may not visit. Because there are a lot of restrictions about where I can visit and where I cannot visit. But yeah, China, there are a lot of possibilities, and I am currently interested in Russia. Yeah, Russia. There are a lot of uh, I don't know, unknown or less known railways. Yeah, not like a Siberian railway, which is too famous, but more like a small little railway in coal mine in a small town, that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
So have you always been interested in trains and
Oh yeah,
railroad?
music and railway. The two. Wait, what's the English equivalent? Two wheels of my life. Yeah, what? Please figure out the right expression. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So recently, I'm working on sort of algorithmic composition project in which I'm trying to transform train motor sound into an interesting music. Yeah, because train motor sound is really artful, and yeah, some of train motors make scales like da 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 da. That kind of train motor is very interesting. So yeah.
All right, I guess a little different from trains. Gonna take a big switch in my question here, but I'm kind of hungry right now, so I want to ask you, what are some of your favorite foods? Maybe what's your
Oh,
favorite meal of the day?
oh yeah, well that doesn't sound like a composer interview, which is good. Which is very good. Yeah. Yeah. I'm crazy at eating any foods from southern China. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, my wife is southern Chinese. She's from Guangzhou. It's a southern Chinese city near Hong Kong, and yeah, our typical image of Chinese food is like oily or salty or whatever, but that's not true. If you go to southern China, it's just how can you make those ingredients tasty as ingredients? That's the art of southern Chinese food, especially Guangzhou. So yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm crazy at now. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
How about, were there any foods during your time in the United States that either just really shocked you, or maybe maybe you just really liked it? Because I know we have a lot of really unhealthy food in America. There's always
Okay. That's a very good question. I mean, yeah. So I do not want to insult Americans, but the best food I experienced and I got inspiration for my art is McDonald's hamburgers. That's so artful because that's so cheap, easy, and quick to get and tasty, right? Sort of tasty. I mean, but again, behind that McDonald's hamburger, there's a lot of elaboration on that surface of easiness, supply chain, how to make this little sauce, that sort of thing. So, and it's sort of different from making $50 hamburger. You can invest a lot of resources, you can invest a lot of things, but McDonald's hamburger is sort of, you need to select everything picky. It's like Brahms symphony for me. I mean, um, yeah, so or you see what I mean. Economy backs fuga, or fuga by back. You need to find the exact thing at exact moment to make the McDonald's hamburger work. So that's and it's available all over the world. So I think that's the brilliant aspect of American food culture. Or should I say that? But please include this. Should I say that in the interview? Because I don't want to insult Americans. But
we insult ourselves enough. We don't mind. I don't think any of us are gonna be. I'm sure a lot of our viewers will. Americans, we make fun of ourselves plenty. So no worries.
I had McDonald's yesterday, so.
Oh yeah. And honestly, the fried potatoes without salt is actually good. I mean, to get just quick energy. I often, I sometimes feel guilty just to order hamburger because it's known as unhealthy food, but you just go order fried potato without salt. And I often do that. I mean, that's really tasty. I mean, and I don't need to feel that guilty. It's just oil and potato. Yeah. Which is tasty. Yeah.
If you get them without salt, they come out fresh every time because they have to make
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So, other than music and railroads, what are some things that you like to do in your spare time for fun?
Yeah, I love Japanese chess a lot. Yeah. Japanese chess is a bit more complicated. Yeah, not a bit, actually, much more complicated than chess. I mean, the chess as from Europe. Yeah, and yeah, that sort of complexity and a sense of making a story. You don't need to think of Japanese. You just think about chess. Professional players need to win, and to win, you need to make a sort of consistent story from the beginning to the end, and that consistency is sometimes really artful. And but after all, there is ultimate purpose of winning, and I really feel that process is similar to composition. So you want to have a consistent idea to make the composition work, but after all, you want to make the music that sounds good. So you sometimes need to forget about consistency. So that sort of practicality and the consistency, that sort of tension is really similar to the way we compose. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I also love to see the weather map. Yeah, I'm a I cannot pronounce that, meteorologist. Yeah, of Japan. Yeah, I'm certified. Yeah, by Japanese meteorological agency. So yeah, that's also artistic. Yeah.
And how did you get into that? Like,
Oh
is
yeah, when I
that
was
a
middle school, that's really a small story. When I was middle school student, there was a student who are really good at math, and I couldn't really beat him. So I found meteorology might be the area where I can win, and I studied. Yeah, and it was interesting. So I got that certification at the age of 15 or something. Yeah, like when I was a middle school student. Yeah, and after getting that, I don't know. I don't know what I did. Yeah. Mm.
This isn't really a question, but it's just so cool to see through the things you've talked about, whether it's your compositions, um, food, or what you do. There's like this artfulness in simplicity, and like whether it's like the simplicity of like a quick McDonald's hamburger or food from southern China or riding on a like it always comes back to this, and I think that's so interesting. What when was the first time in your life, I guess, that you were so impressed with like the art of simplicity, I guess?
Oh, okay. So don't think not. I think not so many people can agree with this, but yeah, when I first listened to Johannes Brahms symphonies when I was a high school student, yeah, I think yeah, it's honestly a complicated composition, but the sense of economy and not trying to um, embellish or embellish a lot, just to be minimum, exact, and right. And that was, yeah, that still influences me a lot. And within that exactness and rightness, there's some sort of surge of emotion. If you want to be exact, you can really be exact. That kind of feeling, a math professor who is always talking like uh always talking in a strict face, like becomes, suddenly start talking about his daughter. That sort of sense exists in Brahms. So, yeah, it's really humane. Yeah, humane. I mean, we want to be organized, but after all, we are not organized at all. So, that sort of sense is in Brahms. So.
um, taking it back to some more schooling things and education? Did you find that sentiment of economy of materials, um, like musical materials, was that something that your teachers also maybe instilled in you? And if
No,
not,
it's the opposite actually. Yeah, yeah. Because I sometimes relate. Yeah, what should I say? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's sort of installed not by teacher but by the Japanese society. The Japanese society is, for me, is working like drum symphony. Every bit of portion works really together to make a huge system. But the other aspect of that kind of society is, on Friday night, crazy business persons are drunk over the street, so that's organized, but to make that organizing work, you need to be unorganized. So, that sort of contradiction exists in German society. So yeah, I always feel, yeah, when I say, yeah, I'm influenced by Brahms, I'm just saying I'm influenced by a Japanese society. Brahms is really sounds like a Japanese composer to me. Yeah, and it touches a sense of Japanese society, touch a sense of how the Japanese society works. Yeah, and in fact, Japanese university symphony orchestras really love Brahms. Yeah, and that makes sense. It's that sort of order. Yet a little bit of spontaneity exists within that order. Yeah, that's really Japanese idea. Yeah.
All right. A little more fun question to go
Yeah.
back from these music questions. I'm pretty sure Brahms owned a cat. I may be mistaken on that. But, a
Really?
lot of musicians like their pets. And we have a very important question regarding that. Are you more of a cat person or are you more of a dog person?
Uh, I have a dog in my house, in my Japanese house. Yeah, fits where I am in. Yeah, yeah. Can I say I'm a duck person?
Yeah, absolutely. We like to ask.
I'm a
We
duck
each have a
person.
cat.
I'm cat and dog think too much. Yeah. Ducks are like, always ducks are always saying "Gua," and then until the moment before they are eaten. So it's dogs and cats think too much, and I do not want more complications on my life. I love ducks actually. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, well, I was saying we each have a cat, so we've just been asking everyone
Oh,
that.
the cats are really complicated, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They
Yeah,
each have a very distinct personality.
yeah, right. And yeah, it's really hard to compose with cats, I feel. Yeah. But I think I can compose with dogs. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, other than this project, are there any things that you have coming up professionally or personally that you want to talk about?
Oh, oh yeah, that train motor project. Yeah. Yeah, actually yeah, because this year I am in Japan, I'm trying to use a lot of field recordings sources for my composition, which I'm thinking generatively. Yeah, I think for these 2 or 3 weeks I have been patching on Max MSP for um, quite a long time to to draw. I like to improvise with field recording sources and to draw some sort of inspiration from field recording, random field recording sources, especially railways, and improvise with that. That sort of idea is now going and sort of getting into shape. So yeah, if you make things generative, that's another possibility to blend the organicism and spontaneity. Yeah, especially if you use field recording sources, they always come with some uncontrollable aspects. You cannot control all the things about field recording, but my program, my algorithm is on my computer, which is fixed. So there happens a unique mixture of, organicism and spontaneity. Yeah.
I think that really reflects a lot of the other things you've said about your
Yeah,
process.
yeah. Because without messiness, composition will not be interesting. Yeah, for me at least. Yeah, yeah. Whenever I feel I read the analytical paper on any compositions, what I am interested is what is not expressed in analytical paper. Where the messiness is, where the spontaneity is, where when the composer was sleepy, and made mistakes, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, because when you're sleepy or you are distracted by other things, that's when composition gets interesting. If you have a strict process and that if you let that go consistently, that for me sounds a bit inhuman. And that's really a matter of aesthetics. But I myself is a bit messy person. Messy person. And yeah, always having fun. Yeah. So I want that to be communicated in my compositions. Yeah.
I was going to ask, what part of Japan are you in?
I am in Osaka. Actually, I'm in Kobe. Yeah, which you might not know, but yeah, Kobe, Osaka, Kyoto, those three cities are sort of connected. So yeah, I always say I'm from Osaka, but actually I'm from Kobe. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I also wonder, doing these kinds of field recording things, do you think in some way you're kind of making a little suitcase of sounds from home that you can then take with you whenever you go on your next trip?
Yes. Yes. Of course, that's the idea of, you know, idea of my recent project. I want to carry. Also, I visit China a lot, so I want to carry all those sound sources and want to make interesting from. Yeah, want to make interesting from them. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good use of my multicultural background. Yeah, and yeah, and I'm a crazy traveler too. So there are many interesting sounds in this world, and yeah, that sort of stimulus is important for making music, making compositions. Um, Interesting and creative. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we really appreciate this time, Minato, and
Yeah,
I
thank you. Yeah.
I think we've learned a lot, and I think our listeners will also learn a lot, and it'll help them enjoy your great piece even more. So,
Oh, great. Yeah.
thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.